The revelations to come out this weekend about the last 10 plus years in Ukraine, the CIA's role, how this is really a provocation by the US empire that was begun, and it's literally the same playbook that is always played with different tactics, right? This is still about US global power and having a position regionally in all regions globally to inflict interference and create chaos while it's still in control, but to also gain short-term benefit, as we all know. Aaron Mate just talks about it. Like, I'm not going to go through everything of the article because you guys should just read it for yourselves, and I'll leave the link. But there's some good commentary you should understand. It's the account of Ukraine's partnership with the CIA 10 years since the 2014 Maidan coup underscores that Ukraine played a vital role in generating CIA allegations of Russian interference in the 2016 elections. According to the Times, the Ukrainians also helped the Americans go after the Russian operatives who meddled in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. After Ukrainian intel conducted a deadly operation in Crimea in August 2016, Obama officials wanted to shut down the CIA program in Ukraine, but then CIA Chief John Brennan persuaded them that doing so would be self-defeating, given the relationship was starting to produce intelligence on the Russians, as the CIA was investigating Russian election meddling. After Trump took office, the CIA used the Russian interference allegations to expand its operations in Ukraine. I've mentioned this many times that the whole point of Russiagate was to intensify the ideological propaganda and info wars that was to come with a coming war in Ukraine. They knew a war was going to come because they knew they were going to push Russia to do it. Because whatever Mr. Trump said and did, his administration often went in the other direction. Indeed, Trump had put Russia hawks in key positions, including Pompeo, a CIA director, and John Bolton as national security advisor. As a result, preventing Russia from interfering in future U.S. elections was a top CIA priority during this period, and Ukrainian American intelligence officers joined forces to probe the computer systems of Russian intelligence agencies to identify operatives trying to manipulate voters. The New York Times omits that Ukrainians collaborated with the DNC to interfere in the 2016 election against Trump, including by leaking allegations about Paul Manafort. Important excerpts are the listening post in the Ukrainian forest is part of a CIA-supported network of spy bases constructed in the past 8 years that includes 12 secret locations along the Russian border. As Aaron says, this is probably the most important part that came out of this investigation. Ukrainian military intelligence, which the CIA closely managed, claimed to have duped a Russian officer into providing information that allowed the CIA to connect Russia's government to the so-called Fancy Bear hacking group. Fancy Bear is one of two alleged Russian cyber espionage groups that the U.S. accused of carrying out the 2016 DNC email theft. CrowdStrike, the Clinton-hired firm that the FBI relied on, also directly accused Fancy Bear of email hacking. So now we know that this allegation, the central one of Russiagate, came from a Ukrainian intelligence unit working under the CIA, specifically John Brennan. Again, time and time begins to pass, and the more time passes, the more revelations, the more history we have, many of us from the beginning who knew what this war in Ukraine was really all about. Who started it, what were the plans, what happened 10 years before. Like, if you're still someone who says that, a secret war going back years basically in Ukraine against Russia, that's just a conspiracy theory. You are delusional, you are ignorant, and you're not looking at the actual history and the facts that are presented to all of us, the public, through establishment Western media, the media that is used by the ruling class, different factions, to disseminate information and choose what we're allowed to know at different times. They're admitting a lot of this. There's a reason they're willing to admit some of this.